Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English. Today's video is adjectives related to time. So very important, this is an advanced English vocabulary lesson. And you will learn 9 English adjectives related to time. We often hear and see these words in news stories. We also use them in academic English. So let's start. Concurrent. This means happening or existing at the same time. Example. There were 3 concurrent protests across the country. So this was protest number 1, protest number 2, protest number 3, and they all happened at the same time. So we say that there were 3 concurrent protests at the same time. Another common example of this is in a legal context. So we say that he was found guilty of the 2 crimes. Okay, so in a court of law, the jury found him guilty of the 2 crimes. And then he will serve 2 concurrent 10-year sentences. So for each crime, he receives a sentence of 10 years. But he will serve them concurrently. That means in parallel, at the same time. Okay, so his sentence is, in fact, it will last for a total of 10 years, okay, because they are concurrent. Contemporary. This means existing or happening now. And it means, therefore it means modern or recent. And we often use this adjective to describe the arts, the period of time of the arts. So what do I mean by that? Well, we talk about contemporary music, contemporary literature, so books, contemporary art, and contemporary fashion. Okay, so all of these, when you hear of these, they're talking about modern music, literature, modern art, and fashion. Okay, so recent. So here is a good example. This gentleman here is called Martin Amis, and Martin Amis is my favorite contemporary writer. Okay, so he's a British writer. Unfortunately, he died, very sad news, he died this year in 2023. But I strongly recommend you read his books. They are very, very good books. Okay, so he is my favorite contemporary writer. Eventual. And this means happening or existing later or at the end, especially after a lot of effort or problems. So this means that there is a long process of something, okay? So something happens and there's a lot of work, a lot of effort, and perhaps a few problems. And then at the end, the conclusion of that is something happens. There is a conclusion at the end. So let me give you an example. The original budget for the project was £1 million. However, the eventual cost will probably be over £2 million. So there was a long project with several problems, lots of work, and the conclusion is at the end the cost will be over £2 million because of all the problems. It's similar to the word final. The final cost will probably be over £2 million. Okay? After a very close race, Mark was the eventual winner. Okay, so the race was very close. There was lots of effort. Yes, there was lots of effort, a big sporting effort. a big fight perhaps to win the race. But in the end, the conclusion was that Mark was the eventual winner. Okay, Mark was the final winner. Okay, so the conclusion of all the effort, all the work, all the problems of the race, the conclusion was at the end, Mark won the race. Okay, he was the eventual winner. Forthcoming. This means happening soon in the future. He's excited about the forthcoming Spider-Man film. So this means that he is excited about the Spider-Man film, which is soon coming out. Okay, which is soon going to be available. Okay, so there's a film very soon, and he's excited about it. Who will win the forthcoming election? Okay, who will win the forthcoming election? So forthcoming election means the election that will happen soon, very soon. Okay? Ongoing. This is very common in the news. And it describes something that is continuing to exist or continuing to develop. It's happening now. It's happening at the present moment. It's happening now, and it's not yet finished. Okay, it's not finished. It's continuing. There are many ongoing problems with the software. Okay, so there are many problems with the software, and those problems are not finished. They are not solved yet. Okay, so they are continuing, the problems are continuing to exist. And here we have a plane crash, a plane accident, a plane crash. There is an ongoing investigation into the cause of the crash. Okay, so an investigation has started, and the investigation has not finished. It is an ongoing investigation. Okay. And before I continue, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you like my channel. So let's continue. Simultaneous. And this means happening at the same time. So when several things happen at the same time, we say they are simultaneous. There were several simultaneous fires across California. So there was a fire maybe in the north of California, another fire maybe in the middle of California, and another one in the south. And they were at the same time. They were simultaneous. Subsequent. And this means happening after something else. So a first thing happens, and then a second thing happens after. Example. The problems with the software will be fixed in a subsequent version. Subsequent version. So the problems will be solved, will be fixed in a version of the software after the current version. Okay, after the version that we have now. Okay, so they will be fixed in the future in a version after the existing version. Okay, subsequent version in a later version. Successive. This means happening immediately after something else. It was the team's third successive defeat. Third successive defeat. So this means that they lost one match, and then their next match, they also lost it, and then their third match, they also lost the third match. So they played 3 matches and they lost all 3 matches. Okay, so each match was immediately after the previous match. Okay, 3rd successive defeat. Okay, it's a similar meaning to consecutive. Okay, so 3 things happened in a row, one after the other. Temporary, and this means not permanent, not for a long period of time. And we often use this to describe a type of job or a type of contract. Mark had a temporary job during the summer. Okay, so the job was only for the summer. It was not permanent. And John suffered a temporary loss of memory after the accident. A temporary loss of memory. So he lost his memory, but it was not permanent. His memory came back. Okay? So there we are, that's the end. Again, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. If you're preparing for the IELTS exam, click here for information about our course. And here are some of the other videos I recommend.